Welcome to a Sentinel review of The Last of Us from HBO. Warning, this review will have many spoilers. Episode 2 begins with a flashback of the earlier outbreak of the mutated fungal infection. The show goes back in time in Indonesia, where a policeman is shown to seemingly arrest a woman, but it later turns out the woman is a doctor and her expertise is requested. The doctor studies a cadaver of a dead woman who was infected and has human bite marks. The doctor later inspects the mouths of the cadaver and draws out plant-like material. The doctor was too horrified to continue. She earlier stated that cordyceps infection to a human is not possible, but she now has to change her statements. The policeman requested her to find a way out of this, a cure or vaccine. The doctor said, "There is no cure for this nor a vaccine." She asked if there are other infected people. The policeman said, "There are, but they are not accounted for." The doctor said to bomb the place immediately, and she wants a ride home to her family. This flashback is a very good way to show the terrifying implications of the worldwide outbreak. Going back to the current story with Ellie, Joel, and Tess, their journey continues. Tess and Joel are full of doubts with Ellie, even pointing a gun at her in case Ellie succumbs to the infection. Tess was very blunt and told Ellie that they aren't good people. Tess would ask why Ellie was so valuable, and even upon learning Ellie's immunity to the infection, Tess has a hard time believing it. Joel and Tess mentioned before of false promises and false claims that never amounted to anything. Joel and Tess want to map out a route to their destination, and they saw a horde of infected in one of their planned routes. This horde is able to communicate with each other. They have a centralized way of feeling and acting out. Now, they chose to go through a museum, but they encountered a new type of infected, one that is blind but has very sharp hearing. This clicker is unique because they are more ferocious and violent. They are able to tear out their prey. When Ellie was traveling the outside world, she was taken aback by the view she was seeing, despite all the wreckage. Ellie was all smarty pants with Joel as she travels with them, but Joel just rolls with the sass. The trio tried to maneuver their way through the museum, but Ellie was panicking and breathing too hard. This is her first time seeing this clicker, so the clickers attack and a big game of hide and seek continues, but the clickers proved to be formidable, and Joel and Tess had to use their weapons to eliminate the clickers. In the end, Ellie was infected. She has bite marks from one of the clicker, but Ellie was unaffected. The trio left the museum and went to the designated spot to meet with the Fireflies. However, the Fireflies' crew were found dead and some were even infected. Tess later showed her body being ridiculously infected in such a short time, while Ellie was still unaffected. At this time, Tess firmly believes that Ellie is the real deal and humanity can be restored. Tess gives her final directions to Joel to continue his journey with Ellie. Joel had to face the harsh reality that another person in his life will meet an early end. His eyes showed that he was dying inside when he knew Tess was infected. To make matters worse, there were infected in the area and it awoke the horde that humans are nearby. Tess then decided to sacrifice herself by placing a trap for the incoming horde using gasoline and grenades to eliminate the horde. This episode's story should be a thrill to new viewers seeing the horde and clickers for the first time. Of course, the death of Tess should be a shocker for most viewers. For people who played the game, it is amazing to see how well the scenes in the game are recreated in real life. The entire museum scene was straight out of the game. The clickers were very accurate portrayals, and the set or stage is accurate as well. So episode 2 is another good episode. It is still the early part of Joel and Ellie's journey, and I expect even better things to come. I would recommend this show for new viewers and gamers who played the game before.